If you had a warehouse, as Vanessa suggests, would you have Ruth running it?
I would. Yeah. I would. I mean, I've always said that Ruth is a great manager. You tell her what needs to be done and you know, the resources that she's got to do it, and she'll get it done. But as I think Vanessa said, you know, she's not a leader. Don't tell her to decide the direction. She'll take you off on a tangent.
Okay. I mean, meet you this afternoon. You're a very lucid individual, but you're a bit like Alexa. When you get you in front of a flip chart, it's very much like you've swallowed a kind of a business jargon dictionary. I mean, here is just about the best example of it here. You know what's coming, don't you? The famous divergent convergent speech from last week.
You go from a divergent phase to a convergent phase, which is where we are now. We're through the divergent phase, okay? We're not going to go off on tangents. That's what we were doing it was planned. We were going through a divergent brainstorming phase. I was encouraging any ideas that people had, purposely.
It just wasn't washing with Sharon, was it?
No, but from my perspective, they're just normal words in the English dictionary. Diverging, converging.
But why not just say, we go through a stage when there's lots of ideas out there, and then we hone it into just one or two ideas.
Why should he? He's got one word that will do that. If you speak English, you want to know the word. Why should he dumb down just because they're a load of dummkopf? Why should he? Why the hell should he? He's supposed to be a leader.
You've got support out there, fair enough. Keith, what would you say to him?
I guess I'm used to doublespeak anyway in my business, so it's all sounded perfectly sensible to me.
Right. You were often stroppy on the programme. Now, there's a reason for this, isn't there?
Too right. Sharing a room with 3 guys who snore. I mean, have you ever tried that? Yeah. And I tried everything.
Do you snore?
No, I don't. Right. I don't think I do.
Well, we can speak to your fiancée here. I know you're not married yet, but you may have shared a bed. I don't know. We won't speculate. So, does he snore or doesn't he?
He doesn't snore, no.
Right. So what did you make of him on this programme then? Did you recognise him?
It was bizarre seeing him on TV. It was like a different person. He wasn't the Manny I know. He's so fun-loving and so cheerful all the time, and it was almost seeing a different person. Yeah. But I'm very proud of him, and personally I thought he acted with honesty and integrity, which is what I would expect from him.
And when you're having a ding-dong at home and he uses a long word and you say, what does that mean? Does he tell you to go and look it up in the dictionary?
We never have a ding-dong, that's quite...
Right. Yeah. You're getting married soon, you will then when you get married.
You think so? I tell you what, I'll have to buy myself a dictionary then, huh?
Definitely. Babinda, you're Manny's sister, aren't you?
Yes.
What did you think?
I think he did very well, and I think I disagree with somebody saying that he's a bad organiser. When he was project manager, he did an excellent job, and I think he did very well there. I agree wholeheartedly with what Vanessa said. I think Ruth was the bad leader on this occasion, and really she should have taken more accountability for it.
That's absolutely fascinating what your family have said. That they've never heard you big yourself up like that. Say you were world class or top draw at anything. So what got into you?
Well, I think when you're put into that sort of position with those sort of people, they rub off on you. So you hear them constantly going on.
You can't blame them for that, but you feel because they're doing it, you have to do it.
I think you can, because it's a kind of hot house thing. Well, you know, as a Big Brother survivor, I can comment just slightly on this and say, you know, you're stuck in a house, you're living with people you don't know, you're out of context. They all seem to feel this tremendous need to big themselves up constantly and take on a kind of swaggering executive role, courtesy of Michael Douglas in Wall Street. You know, nobody really talks like that. Sir Alan Sugar doesn't talk like that. Donald Trump doesn't talk like that. Richard Desmond doesn't talk like that. But they feel they've got to talk the talk every 5 minutes. Usually they don't deliver. And Manny, obviously, as his family and friends say, he never normally talks like that. He probably absorbed it by osmosis, and that's something else they better look up in the dictionary.
Right, who would you have fired then? Was it the right decision this week, do you think?
No, I think it was definitely the wrong decision, and I would have got rid of Ruth.
Keith?
I would absolutely agree with Vanessa. I think it was a foolish decision. I would have banned Ruth.
Let's see if the audience agree with Keith and Vanessa. Obediently, they pick up their voting card. So, if you think the right decision was made by Sir Alan, then hold up fired. Wrong decision, hold up hired. You went a bit early there, son, but go on. Let's have you all up there now.
Ooh.
Oh, that's really interesting. So I would say that's about 50-50, Vanessa.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I think it's slightly in favour of hired rather than fired.
Well, I'll tell you what, Manny, that is some achievement. Thanks very much. Because when I came out before this show started, they'd just seen the programme, and at that moment they would all have, apart from your family, of course, they would have all have held up fired. So
sure.
You've taught them round somewhere along the line. So listen, you've been a great sport. Manny Sander, ladies and gentlemen.